Hey everyone, this is Gilberto from Maverick Media Lab, and I'm here with Drew Brenner. He's one of our clients, and he's going to be giving us his feedback on the Realtor program and his take on the Realtor appointments. Drew, I appreciate you hopping
You're very
on
welcome.
and giving your feedback here.
Yeah, no
So,
problem at
just
all.
for for everyone that's just watching this video, like, can you give us a bit of your background and a little bit about who you are?
Sure. So I've been in mortgages as a loan officer for about 15 years now. So definitely very experienced in it. And in 2020, 2021, of course, those were really busy years, but I was the top producer in my company here in Dallas for a couple of years and, done a good job continuing to close deals. But last year in 2022, as everyone saw, the market kind of turned. And so, I needed to look for other avenues to bring in new business. And so came across Maverick Media and decided to chat with them about what all they could do to set up, realtor
Yeah.
appointments, which of course is where most of our business comes from.
Nice. And what was so at that time, like when refis went down and that was around the time that you had signed up with us. What were kind of some of the struggles like when it came to like growing your referral partnerships? What was like the main bottlenecks that you found?
So, I mean, the hardest part is always just getting in front of agents and then getting an appointment set. Realtors, especially in the down market, they get a lot of phone calls from lenders all the time. So,
Yeah.
it is always a helpful thing having somebody that can actually set those appointments so that you're not having to call 100,000 times.
Yeah.
So that was probably the biggest thing that stood in the way was just being able to get in front of more realtors. Because once there, I could do a very good job of selling myself and our services, but getting in front of them is typically one of the more challenging pieces.
Yeah. Were you doing like calls before? Like, is that something that you had tried, or were you doing like open houses, like visiting real estate offices? Was that some of the things that you were doing before?
So visiting real estate offices and, really calling and staying in front of the realtors on both sides of the deals that I did. Because I mean, I was only about 25% refinances. So when the refis went away, that wasn't the end of the world, but then just business
Yeah.
in general with everybody went down. So it's like now you need to increase the referral base to bring in the same kind of amount of business. So, I was still making calls to at least people that were on the deals that I did, which were still a decent number.
Right.
But not really just going out there at happy hours and things to, find new contacts as it goes.
Got it. So it's mostly like kind of like the basic activity, right? Like what usually a lot of loan officers do, like reaching out to the listing agents and all that stuff, like people like in your sphere of influence.
Yeah.
But it wasn't kind of like the outbound efforts required to be able to get like, what were you saying, like 10 or 15 appointments per month
Yeah,
on
exactly.
average?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And so then talk to us about like the results. So now that you've been working with us, we've been doing the outreach. Like, what are the results that you've been seeing so far?
So I've definitely gotten the number of realtor appointments that, you all promised. You did a really good job with that. I did, make sure to tell you up front that I was looking for agents that are a certain quality level.
Yeah.
Then you were able to generally, return those kind of agents. So yeah, you did very well about setting the appointments. And, I'll say a good majority of them actually made most of the appointments. So I was able to talk with them. I was able to set up coffee appointments with the majority of them. And then, after that, of course, it just falls to me to make sure I keep following up with them and everything. But yeah, you all were definitely able to put me in front of a whole lot of realtors and, I've made some good relationships and, so far I've closed probably 4 or 5 deals with some of those relationships. And, I expect to continue to close more, especially here in 2023 as the market starts picking up again and people start getting business back.
Yeah, I find it's usually like a snowball effect. Like the more, like with all the contacts that you've made and all the meetings that you've had, like usually I find like that's where, like especially in spring and summer, it starts to like really compound all of the follow-ups and all that stuff that that our clients do. Like it starts to compound, and the agents start like sending, those first deals, kind of testing you out, and then really just it starts to kind of snowball from that point.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if you were gonna say like what was your kind of favorite aspect or the part that you found most valuable about the service, like what would you say it would be for you?
So, I mean, really, again, just setting the appointments and me not having to make cold calls. I really hate cold calls, so it's
Yeah.
never been something I'm good at. But I'm really good at warm calls. So you guys being able to do that for me and take that onerous off was definitely the most beneficial part of the program.
Yeah, I find that to be like a common pattern across the clients. Like if they
Mhm.
can get in front of the real estate agent, they got it down, right? It's just a matter of like getting the initial meeting and opportunity. That's like the hardest part for most of them. And that's the part that we take care of.
Exactly.
So for someone who's like watching this and like they might be in the spot where you were like back, several months back, when you were initially, deciding whether or not to move forward with us, like what would you say to that individual who might be, on the fence thinking about it? What would you say to that specific LO?
So I would say, I mean, just as you just mentioned, the cold calling bit is probably the most challenging, at least for most of us loan officers to do, and you guys take that onerous off. So, as I confirmed earlier, you guys definitely set the number of appointments that you said, and once we got the kind of quality of person I was looking for really nailed down, then generally the people you were setting me up with were, people that aren't just closing one deal a year.
Yeah,
My minimum was, I think, 6 or 8 deals a year, and so you guys were pretty consistently hitting that. So I can definitely say that you guys, you get the appointment set. So as long as you on the fence loan officer are able to follow up with people, you set up a plan to make sure you follow up with people, and you can get the coffee appointment after chatting with the real estate agent. Then this is definitely going to be a useful program for you, for sure.
definitely very important, like the follow-up as well. And it's good that you have like that. I know that you said you had the second appointment as well.
Mhm.
That's like super important to like really solidify the relationship. And it sounds like you're doing like still ongoing follow-ups after that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
a lot of our most successful clients, like that's similar pattern. They're really good at the follow-up and building those relationships with the real estate agents. Last question. What was it that made you, like when you were, a couple months back, decided to move forward? What was it that made you move forward with us? Because I'm sure you get a lot of marketing emails, people soliciting you. Like, what was it that, made you take that leap of faith, made you decide to move forward with us and helping you with getting more realtor appointments?
Well, you guys gave me a couple of numbers for people that were with your program. So I spoke with them and made sure that they were getting the kind of results and everything. And that all sounded very positive. And, really, again, I just needed to get in front of more realtors, and doing the tons and tons of phone calls and follow up to get that initial appointment's never been something I've liked or particularly good at. And, you guys did a good job of setting the appointments. And then you had people following up like the morning of to check in with the agent again, make sure that they were going to make that
Yeah.
appointment. And that helped out a ton, honestly. So doing all of that follow up and getting that appointment set and it actually happening was definitely huge.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate the honest feedback, and I appreciate you choosing us as like the company to help you grow your business. And I'm super glad that you've seen like really really great results, and hope to keep moving forward on here. I know we're continuing with like
You too.
the dead lead program as well. So just
Mhm.
there's going to be a lot more growth just moving forward.
It's great. I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the help you've given me.
Appreciate you all. Yeah, I appreciate you as well.